Hello. So, I've had requests for some a little more 1-2, 1-2 plus. In other words, sort of an intermediate level practice. So I thought maybe we'd work with some balancing, and you know, balancing is not just tree pose, which maybe we'll do, and it's not just eagle pose, which maybe we'll do. Kind of see what it goes. But it's a lot more balanced. That when you're doing poses, even lunges need balance to them. And especially if you start to move your hands in a different way and all that good sort of stuff. And so balance has many challenges. Even as we do just a regular standing pose, if you're kind of hanging out in it, you're unbalanced. So you want to have balance in everything that you do. And then certainly there's the balance where you're shifting onto one leg and you have to balance on one leg. But balance has many degrees. And so let's just play a little bit today and see what happens, yeah? All right, so first, let's just start with the centering. And this whole idea of the centering is just to bring all your energy here onto the mat for the next 30, 35 minutes or so. Always seems to go longer than what I estimate. But anyway, we'll see how it goes, yeah? So lean over to your left hip and open up your right. So you inwardly rotate the upper inner right thigh with your left hand. Take the buttock and buttock bone. That's your whole hip and buttock back and out a little bit. It opens up your sit bones. All right, on that side, let's do it on this side. So lean over, internally rotate your left thigh. Take the left hip back, sit it down. And then you're gonna place your hands on the earth, just so that you feel that sense of grounding, grounding through the hips, connecting to the earth. It's how we stay balanced. If you have a good connection to the earth, you can weather the foils of life, as we're being hit now with so many different things that tend to knock us out of balance. Being able to come back to your body, be able to trust your body, trust your breath, feel yourself grounded on the earth, has a lot to do with bringing centering back to us. And when there's turmoil going on, one wants to be able to come back and center in the body, the mind, the heart, and the being. So let's start with the centering. Simply bring your palms together with your heart center, at your heart center, and we'll just play as we move through here to see what happens with balance, yeah? So with your hands at your heart in Anjali Mudra, please close your eyes for just a moment and notice how it feels as you sit, starting the class tonight. And then notice your breath. So what's the quality of your breath as you start tonight? Is it full, and is it full of energy? Is it quiet? Does it feel like it's even between the inhales and the exhales? Is your breath balanced? And then we'll come back at the end of the class and you can reassess how you feel after having moved in the class and sense if you've brought a little more balance to your body, mind, and being. And so please join me in an Om or simply listen. Exhale fully, then inhale and join me. On your next exhale, release your hands to your thighs. Softly lift your head and open your eyes. Go stretch your legs out. I'm just going to check the balance on the sound on this. Hold on. I want to be sure that I'm up. There we go. That should be better. So maybe you can hear me better now. I just turned up the sound. A little more balance, yeah? All right, so let's start with some cat-dog tilts, cat-cow tilts. I've called them cat-dog, cat-cow, so they're still the same pose. It just depends. In yoga, many different teachers, we teach similar or the same poses. We often have different names for them. We have different ways of teaching them. It's all good. Everybody has their own way, and as long as you're aligned and that you're safe and you're having a good time, it's okay. It's all cool. All right, so come onto your hands and knees to the table pose. Knees slightly back of the hips, hands slightly forward of the shoulders. Let's do a few cat-dog, cat-cow tilts, a few cat-cows to extended puppy, and a few cat-cows, extended puppy, and downward facing dog. So this is just a warm-up flow. and you can join. All right, so on the inhale, tailbone and heart center, your breastbone and your collarbones are kind of the markers I use. On the inhale, tailbone up, heart center lifts. On the exhale, lift just around the back of the waist, look down between your thumbs. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, back of the waist, it's just a little round. So we're not trying to do that, which really jams your neck. We're not trying to do that, which really pushes up into your shoulders and neck where we're tight anyway. So let it be gentle, easy, and deep. Inhale, heart lifts, tailbone lifts. Exhale, back of the waist lifts. All right, now, inhale, this is your backbone, the cow. Now walk your fingertips forward about 6 inches and hinge back so you're in downward facing dog back. Your hips are not on your heels. Your hips are up in the air a little bit. This is extended puppy. Then inhale, walk your hands back to the table, come back to the cow. Exhale, fingertips forward and puppy. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, extended puppy. Now from here, toes are tucked under. Place your palms down. On your inhale, press into your legs and lengthen up into downward facing dog. And if this is your first dog of the day, feel free to walk your dog. And you don't even have to have her on a leash. Oh, good. Good, then on your next inhale, come back down, do the cow again. On your exhale, extended puppy. Place your palms flat, inhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. And one more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, extended puppy. Inhale, downward facing dog. And exhale, grow long in your dog. Make your back really long, keep your knees slightly soft. Good, then on your next inhale, come all the way down and come back to table in neutral position. All right, so now, one alternate arm and leg, or bird dog pose, just to strengthen and open up. So there's balance in this. Take your right foot back, touch the earth. Inhale, heel in line with the hip. Shift your weight to the right. One of the ways that you balance better is that you shift weight so that you can lift up your left arm. So alternate arm and leg, or bird dog pose. Now, if you want, you can play with lifting this back foot. That will definitely challenge your balance. Can you still breathe and be strong and long without, tightening up as you do that? Always a challenge. Same thing other side. Take the left foot back, touch the earth. Inhale, breathe the heel in line with the hips. So you don't want it really high. You don't want it turned in or out. You want the toes pointing down towards the earth. Shift your weight to the left, lift your right arm forward, palm faces the center. And again, if you want to, you can play with lifting a little bit this right leg and challenge your balance. See if you can still breathe and try not to do a face plant. Never feels really good. Good, bring the left leg down. All right, now we're going to do baby half moon. All right, so I'm going to kickstand the left foot, and let me show you what that looks like. So I'll be moving between the two mats because these are a lot of standing poses, so I want you to be able to see from the side, but sometimes you're going to need to see from the front. So for instance here, I'm going to take my left foot out to the side. We'll call that kickstand. Right foot, it would be like that. And yes, I'm mirroring you, only I'm calling the opposite limb because I'm used to it. Anyway, it's okay. You can watch what I do and do it, or you can listen to what I say and follow that. You're going to do both sides, so it's okay. Take the left foot out, touch the earth. Inhale, take the right foot back, touch the earth. Now shift all your weight. So again, you're going to shift the weight so that you're coming onto this left side more. Take your right hand to your right hip, turn yourself open. All right, so I'll do this side facing you. This is baby half moon. If you want, you can take this right arm up. Baby half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. Good, hand to your hip. Come down with as much control as you went up, and you're going to get the benefit of both concentric and eccentric movements. Now let me show you the other side, this way. All right, so take the kickstand the right foot. Good. Take the left foot back, touch the earth. Inhale, left leg comes up. Shift your weight to the left a little bit, to the left, so you can lift your right arm. Woo-hoo. Good. Oh, that's alternate arm leg. Hold on a second. We're going to kickstand the right leg. Take the left foot back. All right, now I'm going to shift my weight to the right. Take my left hand to my left hip, turn myself open. Now I'm doing baby half moon facing you. And I'm going to take this left. Good. All right, so now come down, hand to the hip, turn towards the earth, bring the leg back down, and come back to the table. All right, so now, let's do the same thing and add a little something to it. We'll do baby sugar cane pose, or baby Ardha Chandra Chapasana. All right, so kickstand the right foot, take the left foot back, inhale, breathe it up. Good, now, I'm sorry. So, kickstand the left foot. Now, you can do it that way. You can breathe it up, and then you can take your hand to your. So let's just do it that way since I started out that way. Good, now take this right arm up. All right, now, if you want to play, bring the right knee in, grab a hold of the right ankle, take the leg back behind you, and open up into a little bit of a back bend, keeping the right heel in line with the right knee, if you're able, for a nice stretch of the front of your thigh, the quadriceps. Good, exhale, release the right arm and leg. Come on back to the table. I'm switching sides so that I don't have my back to you. All right, now kickstand the right foot. That increases your foundational space. So taking the foot out allows you to open up more fully. All right, shift your weight to the right, left leg comes back. Now you can either lift it up first if you want, because the leg's heaviest, the one that with your heaviest limb. Your arms are not that heavy. So you can either lift it up, or you can start to turn, take your left hand to your left hip as you lift it up. Either way is fine. All right, then if you want, left arm up, baby half moon again. Now, if you want to play, this is a challenge to your balance. You're going to bring this left knee in. Everything else stays the same. Grab a hold of the ankle with your left arm, and then open up on this side. Nice back bend. Oh, it feels good on my quadriceps, the front of my thighs. Good. Then exhale, take the hand and arm back up, left hand and arm up. Come on back down. Come back down to table again. All right. And then, let's see what we have next. Okay. All right, so now we're going to come on up to standing. So come back into extended puppy. Place your palms flat, lift your hips up to soft knee downward facing dog. And then you can either, if you want to get really grounded, you walk your hands back to your feet. If you want to move forward to the front of your mat, you can walk your feet to your hands. Whatever way you want to do it is fine. Now to come up, keeping grounded in your feet, bring your hands to your hips. Come halfway up as your elbows lift up. A little bit more than halfway, keeping the alignment in your spine. There's always there's a small arch in your low back, an arch in your neck. They're inward arches, and you want to keep them, and your shoulder blades are on your back. Inhale, press into the hips, lead with the heart center, come all the way up, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands at your heart. Okay, so now we're standing. All right, so let's do a few lunges and some other standing poses to get us started, and then we'll play. Now, this is a practice where you might want a block. So again, if you don't have a block at home, find a really thick book or two. My thickest ones are supporting my laptop right now. But if you stacked up a couple of blocks, a couple of books, even 3 or 4 or 5, that aren't so, that was a pretty good size one. So yoga therapy today, that ought to do it, yoga therapy. So you could use that in the place of a block. And then you could read when you're in between. Okay. All right, so now, coming to the front of your mat, bringing your hands to your heart. Good. Take a nice breath in. Inhale, arms up, heart lifts, tops of the shoulders up here, the neck area soft. Now exhale, swan dive down, or if you have back issues, hands to your hips, touch the earth. All right, inhale, hands to the knees, get really long, long spine, long arms. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale. try to keep your hips lined up over your knees and ankles. Don't shift them back, which is easier to do. So work to get a little bit more opening in the back of the legs as you stay centered, hip over ankle. So inhale, number 2, pranam. Pranam's an offering. You're offering your heart. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, up. Good. Now this time, if you have blocks, you can place your hands on blocks. You'll have the right leg forward. Step the left leg back into straight leg lunge. Okay, so now take your left hand and place the left hand on the earth. Take your right hand to right hip and turn yourself open for a little twisty lunge. And if you want a little more fun, you can walk the left hand back a little more and it becomes more of a back bend. And you take a few breaths here. Good, then exhale, right hand down, step back, downward facing dog. So again, you enjoy your dog. You're starting to get a little bit more into your legs, into your feet. All right, then as you inhale, take the left leg up, left leg comes forward, okay? And on this side, you take the right hand out, left hand to your left hip, and turn yourself over. And again, if you want to go back a little more, you keep squeezing your upper and inner thighs towards each other, but opening up the whole heart, a little twisty lunge. Good, exhale, come back down, and on your inhale, step forward, Uttanasana, standing forward bend and fold. Now, you can reverse swan dive all the way up, and that's okay too, hands up your heart. All right, so then now let's do a Kripalu revolve lunge. Okay, so I think you'll be able to see this one better this way. Let's try this. We'll try it this way once, and then I'll do it the other way if I need to, okay? So inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Come on down, touch the earth. Inhale, heart lifts. You offer your heart first. Place your hands down. Step the left leg back, straight leg lunge. Take the right hand, and you can use a block here if you want. Take the right hand right inside your right leg and squeeze the right leg against the right arm. Now take your left hand to your left hip and turn yourself open. Your left leg is still in a lunge, unless you need to put it down. But if you can keep it in a lunge, this is really going to challenge your balance. Squeeze your right leg against your right arm. Open yourself up. Good, exhale, bring the left hand down, right hand out to the outside of the right leg. Come back to the lunge. Step back, downward facing dog. Trying to time this to see where we're doing. Right now, inhale. Excuse me, step the left leg up. Be careful if you have a desk behind you. Pardon me. Exhale, take the left leg forward. Bring the left hand inside the left leg, squeezing arm and leg together. That gives you strength. That's a midline to give you strength for balance. Still up in the lunge leg on the right, take your left hand to your left hip. Now squeeze the front arm and leg together. Start to turn yourself open. Right shoulder turns open towards the heavens, and then take your arm up. So revolve the lunge, Kripalu revolve. At least I learned it at Kripalu. That's what I call it. Good. Enjoy your breath. Good, exhale, right hand down, left hand down. All right, now step the left leg back, downward facing dog. The downward facing dog again. Okay, so let's play. Let me show you from front first. All right, on the inhale, now you're going to lift the right foot up, keeping the hips even. So we're not turning open. We're keeping the hips even. All right, and then gradually walk your hands back a little bit. You don't have to go really far. You're still keeping downward facing dog back, and I'll show you from the side in a minute. And then you come to wherever you're comfortable. We're not trying to do a one-legged standing split. This is just the beginning of it, okay? If you want to go a little higher, you bend the left knee, and then you walk in. You can take the right leg higher, and then maybe you straighten the left leg a little. You might even lower the left heel to the earth. Woohoo! Good, then inhale, walk your hands back. Bring the left leg down to downward facing dog. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Oh, come down to rest before you do the other side. You probably want to rest before you do the other side. All right, so take the right leg up. Let's take the left leg this time. Okay, so now side 2. Extended puppy, toes turned under. Extended puppy usually gives you just the amount of space you need between your hands and your feet for downward facing dog. That's why I like to start that way. Plus, if you're already in downward facing dog back from extended puppy, you don't have to come back through table, which is fine. But if you're able to keep this and you simply bend the knees to take you up, that's strengthening your legs as well. Strength is so important. All right, so now on the inhale, I'm gonna lift my left leg up, hips even, not turned open. And then, however, you might just come back an inch or two, but you wanna keep this left leg high, okay? So you can come back, and if you wanna take it a little higher, you bend this right leg a little bit. And then maybe you can come back, and then once you're back as high as you can go, now, press the right heel to the earth. Good, then as you're ready, come on back into one-legged, downward facing dog, Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good, then bring the left leg down and come back down. Bring your big toes together, knees apart, take a breath. It's basically, you can stack your fist or your hands and just rest your head on your hands for a minute. That's really, you're up there the whole time with your arms in the, holding on, one leg's up. That's an arm balance. It's a form of an arm balance, which can be pretty intense, yeah? All right, so that's one-legged downward facing dog. Cool. All right. Now, and so now, let's do crescent lunge. We did twisted lunge. We did that. All right, so now, let's do a challenge with an alternate arm leg dog. What do you think about that? We did it with the legs, with the table. You can do it in table if that's better for you. Let me show you what it looks like from here. I think this is the best way. All right, so extended puppy. I'm going to come up to downward facing dog. I'm going to come here so I don't kick my desk behind me. All right. So now I'm going to take the right leg up, hips even. And then I'm going to come up on the fingertips of the left hand. And then maybe I shift weight to the right a little bit, and maybe I lift this left arm. Okay, and then I bring it down. You don't have to stay there long, all right? So want to give it a go, and if that looks like that's too much for you, you have shoulder things going on, or balance things, stay and do alternate arm and leg like we did before from the table, okay? All right, so let's do it with the right leg up first. So come to extended puppy, come on up. And as you inhale, breathe the right heel up to wherever it's comfortable. Shift weight a little bit to the right, bump on the fingers of your left hand. You may stay there. Or maybe you lift the fingers a little bit. Now you're not trying to lift the arm high. You're not moving from the arm itself. You're really sort of lifting the whole body, but not quite. Good, exhale, left hand down, right arm down. Come down, take a breath. Woo. So you take a breath there. 2 breaths, 3 breaths, usually is good to sort of get you ready to go again. Arm balances. I can feel that my breath rate has increased. Arm balances move a lot of energy. And they bring you back to a place of balance because you really have to be present as you do it. Let's do side 2. All right, so from extended puppy, up you go, downward facing dog. All right, as you're ready, you lift the left leg up, hips even. Good, shift your weight to the left, move on the fingers of your right hand. And then maybe you lift the right hand up a little. And you can see, one side is usually better than the other. This is a harder side for me. There we go. Good, exhale, hand down, leg down, and come back down. In child's, take another breath. And you don't have to stay there long. The idea is, can you start to feel what your body needs to do and how you have to be stronger on one side? Being stronger means that you plug in the arms into the shoulder sockets like in a balance pose, and the legs into the hip sockets. And you use your core and your back muscles. So that's why being strong is a really helpful thing. So that was alternate arm and leg dog. Okay? And then Yeah, let's do that one. All right, so now we're going to come on up to standing and do our pinnacle pose for the day, I think. Well, it's one of them, is half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So again, you may want a block on either end of your mat or your big, thick books. Okay? All right, and so come on up to standing, and again, let's come from downward facing dog. So come from extended puppy, place the palms flat, straighten the legs. Walk your hands to your feet, and this makes you nice and grounded into the earth. Then you can either reverse swan dive up and come up with a nice aligned back, arms all the way up, hands at your heart, or you can put your hands on your hips, coming up. All right, so now take a wide stance. All right, so we're going to start. We're going to go to the right first. So if I want to go to the right, certainly for the camera to see me, I'm going to be starting on the left side of the mat. And even if you're not on camera, when you're practicing, you want to start from to the opposite side so that when you start to move forward, you can have your hand on the mat. That's how I always do it. All right, so we'll come first into, we're going to do Trikonasana triangle, then Parshvakonasana extended side angle, and come into the pose. So let me show you what it looks like first. All right, so you can keep left foot on the mat, or you can step the left heel back a little bit if you need a little more inward rotation so that you can open up the left hip. So if your left hip is tight, step your left heel back a little bit. All right, turn your right foot out to 90 degrees. Take your hands and arms out by your side, and as you inhale, open your arms to open your heart. Shoulder blades are now on your back, turn just your palms down. Good, now right from here, it's like the I'm a little teapot move. You could even take your right fingertips into your right hip crease. You can take your hands to your hips, and you're just going to go right straight down from the left. Don't shift the hips out. When you do that, you bring this hip up, and you're jamming the pelvis into the top of the thigh here, and that can get uncomfortable. So keep your hips sort of even, and simply hinge at this right hip. Bring your right hand down somewhere onto the right leg, left hand to the left hip. Take your left thumb to the top of the left shoulder, take it up. Now, this is where if you want, you could use a block, or you can bring the right hand down to the ground underneath of your shoulder. And if you look now, the arms are stacked on each other. So the hands and arms are basically sort of in line with one another. All right, this is triangle. Then take your left hand to your left hip, bend your right knee. Make sure the right knee doesn't go forward of the right ankle. Make sure it's either slightly back up or in line with. Take the left thumb to the left shoulder and shoot the arm up. Uttita Parshvakonasana, extended side angle. All right, so now I'm going to step into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So watch. I'm going to look down towards the mat, step my left foot in, move my right hand way forward, and then start to straighten my right leg as I lift my left. And then left arm up, and I slowly turn my head and face, I look towards the front. Okay, because that feels good to me. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Now to come back down, hand to the hip, look down towards the earth. Start to step back as you bend the right knee, come back into extended side angle, triangle, and then back up. All right, your turn. I'll talk you through it, I'll do it with you. All right, so come to the left side of your mat. Hi, folks. Come to the left side of your mat. Take a nice wide stance. All right. Step the left heel back if you want a little more opening in the left hip. Turn the right foot out 90 degrees. First of all, triangle. Inhale, open your arms to open your heart. Exhale, palms down. Then you simply come straight down. You can have a hand on the hip if you want and touch whatever you want on your leg. So I would have my hand on my leg. Now, some people do it like that. That's okay. But to me, I like to ground onto the leg a little bit. So do what you want. Or right hand to the earth, left arm up, triangle. And just be sure that neither knee is locked. There's some space behind each of the knees. Good. All right, now I look down to the front. I can tend towards a little vertigo from time to time. So this just helps me to ground. All right, then step in with the back. Take the right arm forward. And then when you take it forward enough, you can straighten the right leg and take the left arm up. Good. Half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. I like looking forward. It's easier to balance. If you don't have any neck issues, feel free to look up a little bit, and that's fine too. All right, hand to the hip, left hand to the hip. Start to step back into extended side angle. Okay, take a breath here. Inhale back up to triangle. Exhale. Good, inhale, come all the way back up. Turn your feet parallel and heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Squiggle back or step your feet in. You can jump if you want, but I'm of an age where I don't jump any longer. So do what works for you. Jumping can be hard on the body, and unless your feet and your knees and your joints are in good condition, leave the jumping to the children's yoga. But if that works for you, please do it. No judgment here. Okay? All right, so now take the right heel back a little bit. Turn the left one out to 90 degrees. Inhale, open your arms, which opens your heart. Put your shoulder blades on the back, opens up the chest. Turn just the palms down. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, hinge at this left hip crease right there. And then come on back down. Left hand touches wherever you want to touch. Right hand up. And again, if you have a block, feel free to put the block on the floor beside you. All right, you take the hips back a little bit. Turn your heart open. And here we are in triangle. Can we do Parsvakonasana? We're going to do that next. Good. All right, now take a nice breath in. As you exhale, bend the left knee. Take the right arm forward. Parsvakonasana. Extended side angle. All right, now we'll come into to Ardha Chandrasana. Half moon. All right, so you start, I take the right hand to the hip just to get it out of the way. It gives me more balance. I have the limbs closer to the body. All right, I step in with the back. Take the left arm forward, straighten the left, take the left arm forward, straighten the left leg, right leg up, and then you can turn yourself open as you open, take the right arm up. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Good, now hand to the hip, start to come back into Parsvakonasana, Utthita Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. Just need a few breaths on each place just to ground you again. Then come back to triangle, or what I call tricky asana, trikonasana, triangle. Good, then inhale, press into the earth, lead with the heart, come all the way up. Turn your feet parallel, and heel, toe, heel, toe. It's good for your hips. As you do that heel toe move, you're moving the femur and the acetabulum, you're moving the thigh bone into the hip joint. All right, take your feet nice and wide. Let's do Prasarita Padottanasana. And we'll do maybe a little twist here, yeah? Feet nice and wide, all right? Again, anytime you forward fold in these lateral standing poses, most poses with forward folds, you're gonna do it by taking the thighs and the hips back, and you do it right here at the hip crease. So take your palms up, take your pinky finger here, press your thighs back. We're folding down. You can use two blocks under here if you want, all right? And you want to have your hands underneath the tops of the shoulders. Stay there if you want. Okay, and then your feet are parallel. And just check and see, are you lifting up the outsides of the feet? Are you dropping weight? Can you lift and spread the toes so that you can see all 4 points of your feet well grounded? All right, and then you can start to come back, and if you want, you can walk your hands back, put the palms behind you, and rather than just rest your head on the floor if you're getting that low, just let the hair touch the floor gently. And again, you don't have to go this far. You can be here, you can be here, you can be here. All right, whatever works for you is fine. Good. And now, come back to where I am. And again, I have a little arthritis in the thumbs, so you're going to see me on my tops of my knuckles sometimes. All right, so now, Take your right hand to the center of the mat. Take your left hand to your left hip. Actually, take your left hand to your sacrum, right back here. If it works. If not, you can put it anywhere where it works. You can put your left hand to your left hip. But you want to keep that part of your body even. You don't want to shift, yeah? So if I turn open, I'm going to turn. Actually, do take your hand to your hip. Good. And then inhale. Squeeze your legs towards each other and twist a little bit towards the left. Good. Exhale, come back. And then take the left hand to the earth, right hand to the right hip. Take a nice breath in, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right. Good. Then inhale, come back. Bring the hands back down to the mat. All right, now heel, toe, until you're about, feet are about as wide as the mat, maybe wider. All right, then bend your knees and come into Malasana, garland pose. All right, so let me show you this from this side. Not everybody's able to have hips open enough to do that. And so what you do, so right now, can you see? I got a lot of action going on there. I don't know if you can tell with the black mat and the black pants. But I've got the arch in my low back. I'm sitting upright. So I'm not here, right? So if you can get your feet to the floor and that's where you are, you're really compromising because the low back doesn't have any support. So in that case, bring this blanket, your blanket, underneath the heels so that you can sit up a little more and your feet can be fully grounded. Okay, this is Malasana. Okay, all right, now, from there, for those who want to play, okay, your hands are going to be on the ground, and we're going to work a little bit towards Bakasana. Okay, so an arm balance, yeah, like we have been doing so. All right, so now, all we're going to play with here is you put your hands on the ground, you kind of come a little bit forward. You just see what it feels like. You put your hands on the ground, you squeeze. You're going to squeeze the legs towards the elbows. So let me show you. All right. So there are my hands between me. All right. I'm squeezing. So watch. As I come forward a little bit, I squeeze. If I come forward a little bit, I squeeze. All right. And that is all you have to do. But I know some of you want to do a little more. All right. And if you haven't done this before, oh, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I thought I turned off all the noisemakers, but I forgot that one. All right, so where were we? Here we are. Okay, so here, I'm squeezing towards the center. All right, now, if I want to, I come forward, maybe come up on the toes as I squeeze. Maybe come up on the toes as I squeeze. And then maybe I lift one toe up, the other toe up. Maybe I lift up two for a second. All right? So this is where you can start to play. I don't do this too often. And so, and I've been doing several things today. So I haven't, let's see. So I squeeze the center, and then I can bring the feet together a little bit maybe for a second. All right, so that's Bakasana, or crow pose. And so that's how you can play with it. You can play with it at home. Now that you have time at home, let that be just a place where you can sort of start to play. And if you have blocks, sometimes it's helpful to start on a block so that you're higher already, you see? So you're higher already, and you don't have to lift yourself up as much. You can kind of lean forward, and then you can squeeze to the center. And sometimes that's a little bit easier. And there's nothing wrong, again, with using a prop when you need it. I'd also say if you want to play with it, put a big couple of pillows here so that in case you come forward, you can plant your face on something soft instead of the floor. All right, so that's Malasana or and into Bakasana. Okay, so the two work together. All righty then. Okay, come on back and sit. All right, stretch your legs out. Oh, and do that. Just because it feels good. All right, so those, we did Ardha Chandrasana, a half moon, and we did Bakasana, which are kind of our pinnacle balance poses today. One balancing on one leg, sort of a classical way you think of balancing in yoga, and the other arm balancing. Okay, so got a little bit of balance in today. Hopefully that's sort of got your heart moving. I can certainly feel it with mine. All right, so let's just do a nice little seated twist. All right, so bend your knees, put your hands behind you. This is called sunbather pose. Okay, your hands are behind you and your heart is lifted. Okay. All right, then bring your right heel to your left sit bone. Cross your left foot on top of your right for Ardha Matsyendrasana twist. If this is harder for your hips, you can bring this left leg here, and then you're going to interlace your hands around the outside of the left knee. All right, so left knee's on the ground, left foot's on the ground, right heel's to your left hip. All right, now hold on to, interlace your hands around the front, hold on to the front, and as you inhale, draw your heart, your belly towards your thigh towards your belly. With your right hand, hold on to the left knee, take your left hand behind you. Inhale, get really tall. First part of the twist, you lengthen on an inhale. On the exhale, you're going to twist from the right side ribs to the left, and then you look towards the left. So this is Ardha, half, Matsyendrasana. So Matsyendra is the sage, so this is a half of the sage. I don't know where the other half went, can't tell you. Good on your inhale, get really tall, unfurl, bring your hands back behind you, stretch the left leg out, stretch the right leg out, do a little windshield wipers. Good. Bend the left knee. Bring the left foot to the right sit bone area. Cross the right foot over the left. And again, feel free to come here if that's easier on your hips and back. Hold on to the front of the right knee. And as you inhale, draw it in, get really tall. And then take your right hand behind you. And again, you can put your elbow here. Now, some people may want to bind. I have some shoulder issues, and so that doesn't work as well for me. But if you want to bind, be sure that this left shoulder stays back. If you're here, that doesn't really do anything to open anything. As a matter of fact, it tightens the pecs again. So, you know, a nice way to do it is this way, which makes you sit upright and keep the left shoulder blade on your back. So as you inhale, get really tall. As you exhale, soften the left ribs back and twist to the right. Good on your inhale, get really tall and furl. Come back to the center as you exhale, straighten the legs out. Do this. Good. All right, bring the soles, well, bring the soles of the feet together. Down angle is such a good way to sort of start to bring this to the close. All right, so internally rotate your legs again and open up your hips. Have your heels, have your feet together on the mat, hands behind you. Now, if you want to do a little forward bend here, the classic way is to hold on to the toes, and that's fine if you can do that and keep your heart lifted and your belly on your thighs. But most people will do that, which really doesn't do anything. I can feel it in my back talking to me. So you can, so the easiest way to do it is to put your fingers behind you, keep your elbows soft, lift your heart. Good, take a breath in, get really long and tall. So the inhale lifts you up, the exhale takes you forward. So inhale really tall. Exhale, you can start to walk your fingers towards your hips, and then you come forward a little bit. But you should be able to look at me on the screen. You should be able to talk with your voice natural, and you're taking your belly forward. If you want to go deeper, you still have to have length in your spine. Yeah? Good, then inhale, come all the way back up. Keep your feet together until they turn out on their own. And do this. All right. So, we're going to end our practice with, we'll do happy baby pose. All right, so we'll do happy baby pose. I'll do it this way. All right, so lower yourself down. So watch for just a minute. Well, if you can see me on the ground, that's fine. Okay. All right, and then bend your knees. Take your knees apart. Take the feet up towards the ceiling. Now, that's how you want. You want the feet up. It's like you're dancing on the ceiling. All right, now you can do that, and then you can hold behind the backs of your thighs, keeping the feet up towards the ceiling. Or some of you may be able to reach, and you can hold. You can do it. You can hold from the inside. You can hold. I like to hold around the outside and kind of draw my feet down towards the knees, out towards the outside. But the feet have to be active, and it's, again, you should be putting your footprints on the ceiling if you were on the ceiling. Okay, if that doesn't work for you, you just hold behind the backs of the thighs and just rock around a little side to side. So either happy baby or hold behind the thighs and just get a little warmth into the back body. All right, so then from happy baby, bring your feet back down, place the soles of the feet on the mat, hips mat width apart. All right, and then just do a few windshield wipers. So inhale while the knees are at the center, exhale, knees fall to the right. Inhale, knees to the center, exhale, knees to the left. And just do that several times with your own breath. You're just letting the breath lead the way as you come back and as you exhale. And you come back and as you exhale. And one more time to the left. But then come back and draw your knees to your heart. And then inhale. And as you exhale, lift your shoulders, neck, and head towards your knees. And then inhale, come back down. And then please stretch yourself out for Shavasana, corpse pose. That's you on the ground with your legs relaxed. Hands away from the side body, palms up usually feels good. About 12 to 14 inches away from your side body is good. If your chin's up way high, use that blanket to put back behind your head. If you have low back issues, roll a blanket or something and put it behind the backs of your knees. All right, so you lie in Shavasana. I'm going to come up. I'm going to talk you into Shavasana. And then I'll give a little om when I'm done getting you into Shavasana so I can stop the recording. But you can stay in Shavasana for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever feels good to you. So let's get you there. All right, so lying on the ground, as I explained for you to do it, close or softly focus your eyes. Allow the face to relax. So soften the tongue so that your jaw releases and the sides of the throat release. Soften the eyes, let the eyes just drift into the brain. Let them sink back. Soften the forehead, the little valley between the nose and the cheeks. Feel your scalp heavy. Your hair releasing to the earth. Notice the lovely weight of your full body resting on the earth. Let your arms be heavy. Your legs be heavy. And in Shavasana, there's nothing you have to do except be. Just you, simply noticing, and simply being in the moment. And then stay in Shavasana as long as you would like. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste, y'all.